A 7-day trial.
I can do that willingly. I need to travel for a minute.
Hey, video creators. No matter which video you're creating, Envato Elements has everything you need.
So this is where Mike stands, and this is where the dinosaur comes in.
Yeah, Envato Elements is where you find and download everything. Motion graphics, dinosaurs, music tracks, sound effects. Thank you. Everything you need for your videos, it's all unlimited. Deliver better videos faster with Envato Elements. Get started today.
Hello my YouTube friends, today's video is sponsored by Owned, but I'm gonna tell you about that more later. You're here because you're experiencing dropped frames in your live streams. This is a common problem, especially for new streamers. When you're just learning, it's really hard to know where to look to figure out what's causing the problem. So today I'm gonna tell you the 5 things that you should check first if your streams are dropping frames. So you know what? Let's get to it! Likes and comments are super easy things that you can do to push this video to render a frame, and then you have your render and your encoding streaming, and it shows you this The first thing you need to check is the stats window while you're live streaming. So while you're live streaming, you go into OBS, you go to view, and then you're going to go to stats. And it's bringing up this stats window right here. You can see I brought this up while I was live streaming. And it shows you the CPU usage that you have over here on the left in the top pane. You have your frames per second, the average amount of time it takes to render a frame. And then you have your render and your encoding lag. And this is going to be shown by frames drop. In this case, I had 21 frames drop from render lag and 0 frames drop from encoding lag. If this is bad for you, one of these will be in red. In the lower pane, you can see that this is the actual health of the stream from a network perspective. I have 0 dropped frames, and you can see my bit rate over there on the right-hand side. That's the 6000 that I use, plus whatever the bit rate is for the audio. So just keep in mind that the audio is generally added to the 6000 bit rate on your video. So it's not unusual for your bit rate to be a touch over 6000, or whatever bit rate you have set, because that bit rate doesn't actually include the audio. And once again, if I was having problems or difficulties with my upload speed, this would be red and we'd be dropping a lot of frames. So this is the first thing you want to check, and you want to do it while you're live streaming. That's the only thing that's going to give you the information that you need to go to the next step. Now we know which process is causing our dropped frames, and if no dropped frames showed up in the stat, a matter of to the streaming service. So if your stats look good, the next thing you need to check is the proper settings for your streaming service. First, before you check your streaming service settings, are you streaming on Wi-Fi? If so, then you can stop troubleshooting right here. Plug your machine in and try again. Wi-Fi is great for surfing the web and watching movies on your iPad, but it's not for live streaming. Here is the YouTube streaming service page, and it basically has all the information that we need to set up our stream so it will properly run on YouTube. If we go down here to 1920 by 1080 at 60 frames per second, it lists the resolution and the video bit rate that we should have, and the same thing for 1080 at 30 frames per second. Then when we go down here, we can see our encoding settings, what it's expecting from a video codec perspective, how many keyframes we should have, the audio codec, the bitrate encoding, CBR. These are things that you can check and set in your OBS so that you can make sure that you're streaming the way that YouTube wants to receive it. And if you do that, you're going to get much better results on their end without dropped frames. The same thing goes for Twitch. It's right here. This actually has specs for NVIDIA encoder and the X264 encoder. Each one of these has the kind of settings that you're going to find right in OBS so you can set it up properly. You have your preset as quality, it gives you your B frames, it gives you your bit rate, everything that you could possibly need on both NVIC and X264. So if you set your settings up right, you shouldn't be dropping any frames at all when you stream to Twitch. And Facebook is no different. It gives you all the information on this page right here. All 3 of these pages are linked in the description so you can check them out, and they're going to give you all the information that you need to stream at the resolution that you're streaming at. You can see here we've got the CBR encoder. It tells you need to be in 16 by 9 aspect ratio. It wants H.264, the common standard stuff. And most of your settings are already set up this way, but maybe they're not. Maybe your bit rate is too high. If you're streaming at a bit rate that's too high, these encoders that are on the service side are going to have to re-encode your stream, in which case you don't know what you're going to get. If you stream it at the proper bit rate right out of OBS, your results are going to be much better. Owned is a website that offers anything a Twitch streamer could possibly want. On own.tv, there are thousands of overlay packs with alerts and stingers built in, as well as emotes and badges. And like I said, just about everything you